We're live right now.
All right.
Good morning. I'm Jake Burgundy, along with my co-anchor Tom Corningstone. Dave Bingham is off today. He's off in the woods drinking coffee, Red Bulls,
And Mountain Dew.
So we are the replacement YouTube live trainers. So today we're going to be talking about complementary equipment in small workspaces. So small workspaces such as small offices and residential.
You know, schools or closets, under the counters, in classrooms, different areas that our larger machines can't get into. So you actually do have a complementary need for a walk behind or a smaller shot blaster, or even our hammer trolley. So I guess let's start with talking about some of the uses of these machines in small spaces. So our riders definitely can't make it into a closet, but the walk behind can. A lot of guys think that you have to stand right behind the machine to use it. The nice part about how National has built our controls is that you can actually control our machine from the side. So forward, reverse, and you can walk along next to it. And even if you're not in a small space, it's really handy because you can actually see the production of the machine and how it's working. Another part about our walk behinds that sets us apart from our competition is the decibel level, the noise level. So when you're in a small space, you really don't want to have something hammering away next to you. So I'm going to turn this on, and hopefully you can continue to hear me talk over the machine. So, you know, this is all you're going to hear in a tight space. Really saves your ears. You still have to wear ear protection. Don't think that you don't. Having the proper protective equipment is important. But it really is nice, especially if you're in a home. You know, would your wife want to have somebody chipping out ceramics in the kitchen and banging and waking up the kid during that time? I don't think so.
In an office setting too, where you've got perhaps an office below where you're doing the tear-up job, the vibration level and noise level allows people to keep working.
Really important, and that's a good sales point too. Hey, I'm quieter than the competition, so you can keep part of your office open and going. And it's not just limited to walk behinds. We also have smaller machines in our shot blaster line. So, you know, big shot blasters are great for production. It goes really fast when you have wide open spaces. But what happens if you've got to blast around a column on a patio or in a warehouse? What happens if, you know, they want that coating to continue into a supply closet to protect the floor from chemicals? You can't get in there with a very big machine, but our A95 with its 8-inch blast pattern can get in there and get into the corners. Whoever is assigned hand grinder duty is really going to appreciate you having one of these machines on the job. The Gladiator is actually our biggest walk behind unit, so we have other ones that are available that are smaller. But the nice part about this too is with precise hydraulic controls. When you're in a tight space, the minute that you let go of the hydraulic control, the machine's going to stop. So if you're doing a perpendicular motion wall to get all of your flooring up, if you let go, the machine's not going to keep going and ram into the wall like it might with one of our manual machines like the 550.
What do you recommend to control the quality of the air indoors?
To control the quality of the air indoors, I really recommend our Ion series of ionizers, so Ion 1K, 2K, and 4K. Do you want to talk about this, or do you want?
Yeah, I mean it's a no-brainer, right? It's a complementary product. When you're on a job site, what the Ion series does basically, it obviously produces a cleaner air environment, so it drives pollutants down to the ground out of the area where people are breathing. So if you're doing a scraping job or you're blasting with a HEPA vacuum behind it, whatever you may be doing, adding the 1K is a no-brainer for safety. So.
You know, and it goes back to working in someone's home. If you're redoing the floors in their $50,000 kitchen remodel, and they don't want all of that dust going all over the rest of their house. So being able to have this machine running, and it doesn't have to be in the center of your work environment, it can be off in the corner, because it treats all of the particulate in the air where it is in the room. The particulate doesn't have to come to the machine. It blows those ions out into the environment. So as long as you're running this, then it's going to keep that dust in the area where you're creating it, instead of spreading it to the rest of the home or office.
Yeah, less time doing cleanup too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're in a lot of home environments, you have to tape off plastic, you have to clean every little nook and cranny after the job. With a machine like this, you're putting all that in a controlled area down to the floor.
Yep.
Less time on the job.
Exactly. Use your dust collector to clean up more of that dust with the wand attachment.
Great points, Tom.
Also included when you buy a dust collector, added value.
Did you talk about the hammer trolley?
I haven't talked about the hammer trolley. So the hammer trolley is a great entry-level scraping unit. It's great for chipping. It's great for hardwood removal, ceramic removal. Just to clear it up, we do not supply the hammer. We build the trolley. I just want to make sure that we all understand that. But it's great. It has an emergency shut-off. You know, these are built really well, and they only activate when you push into the work. But just in case something does happen, you've got the emergency power here. You can make a height adjustment. One of the really nice things about our machine, when you do adjust the height of the hammer, it's controlled here, which is independent, so you can actually drop that down if you need to get under a counter. And when you do drop that down, your actual work handle remains up here or here instead of squatting like some of the other machines on the market. So that way, you're actually at a comfortable environment when you're still working in a tight space. You already don't want to be working in a small space, so why make it more miserable?
Tom, what spaces would you use the hammer trolley instead of our good friend of mine?
You know, I might use this underneath a counter. If the counter was a little bit lower than that could possibly get to, you could lower this way down and get underneath there. This is also just great for open spaces where there's maybe not a sound requirement and you just want to hammer away and stuff is really stuck down to the floor. This is a good tried and true method. But you know, they really do complement each other too. So if you have one of these and you got one of those and you've got a bigger job, then why not use them both if you've got the manpower?
Talking about small spaces too, sold a bunch of these into areas that want to do pool tear-outs. So it's lightweight, right? You can bring it into the pool, obviously when it's drained and you're taking out the tile versus having to bring a heavy machine that might do the outside deck area. So you've got two complementary machines that can head out to maximize opportunity and ROI.
Yep, I like that.
Yeah, I think we sold 15 of these into Puerto Rico, a whole bunch of pools. I'm sad I didn't get to do the setup.
I was going to say, you could have sent me down. I would have done some of the work.
Next time, then.
But let's talk about what rental return on investment.
Yeah, I mean,
How these
we were
machines
talking
work.
about these machines complementing one another in small work environments, right? So if I'm a contractor and I look at all these machines, I'm looking at each of these as a tool in my toolbox, right? So if I'm bidding on a job, you know, why, if I'm a shot blast contractor primarily, why give the tear out to somebody else? Why not have that tool in your toolbox and bid that part of the job as well? Why not have an ionizer, you know, in your quote-unquote toolbox as well to keep the air clean, right? So basically, what I'm saying is, with all of these tools, you're able to bid the entire job, optimize your revenue, and really not give pieces of that business to somebody else, right? If I'm a rental company, I look at all of these pieces of equipment, you know, as complement each other on a rental job. So if you're going to rent a shot blaster, you should probably ask the question about clean air, and it gives you an opportunity to also rent an ionizer. If you have a customer that's doing a tear-out job, perhaps they're looking at the Gladiator for, you know, doing ceramic tile, whatever in a small space. You have the ability to ask the question and add on additional rental with the hammer trolley because, again, all of these pieces fit together to create an optimal work environment and return on investment. So that's my little business pitch.
I don't think there's anything else. Any questions?
What questions do you have?
Something we didn't show on the Gladiator, if you do need to work in a small space, do you want to pull the handle all the way down?
Yes.
So the handle is adjustable, which, you know, it's not just for those of us that are taller or those of us that are shorter. the machine actually can operate in this angle so that you can actually get underneath things.
Right, like if these racks were lower,
Yeah, exactly.
and the racks are lower, which they probably shouldn't be for safety reasons, people are gonna be bumping their heads, but whatever. If they were lower and you needed to do a tear out job,
You can get underneath
Change the
there.
angle. Yep.
Spool counters. Well, I guess that's it for today. I'm Tom Corningstone.
thank you, Tom. I'm Jake Burgundy.